you have not done it yet and you think we're bringing you great things, if your opinion is a little bit different than ours, we love hearing from you. We would love to know what it is you think and what you like most about what we do. And if you have fun here, we definitely want to hear from you. So think about it. Think about ringing that bell and hitting the button so you don't miss out on anything. Residential plumbing versus commercial plumbing. What is the difference? Well, residential plumbing is plumbing in your home. Now, not just the service of it, but the building of it. So you've got a rough end underground, a top out in the walls, and then the fixture stage where everybody comes in and set fixtures. But the residential plumbing is your sewer, your water, natural gas, things like that that maybe you wouldn't think about. It's everywhere from where the water comes in through the meter, goes through your yard, into all your fixtures and faucets and whatnot, through your water heater, your appliances. You've got plumbing hooked up to your washing machine, your ice maker on your refrigerator, maybe a dehumidifier, all kinds of different things that tie into the plumbing system. Then some of this water goes to your sewer system, your waste system, goes back out all the way to the city tap, and then it goes back to the city. Now, you as a homeowner are responsible for this. You as a plumber, you're responsible for installing and repairing all of these systems. Now, commercial plumbing is a lot more complex than that. You may have one huge water main that comes in and branches off and goes to different areas, different risers, or maybe different buildings, depending on how big of a project it is. There's a lot of differences, but then again, there's a lot of similarities in residential and commercial. If you think about it, in residential, you've got your water line in, your sewer line out. Commercial is the exact same way. One of the biggest differences being the size. Most residential homes have a 3 or 4 inch sewer line, where a commercial building, a 10 or 12 inch sewer line, I've seen them that big and actually had to work on them before. Now, as you get into commercial, you may add some other systems to it, but basically you're still looking at the same thing. Water in, sewer out, maybe natural gas that will be ran by the plumber too, but there's different things that you need to know. So first of all, let's start with your water supply lines. Most residential homes are ran with maybe a 1 inch, but normally a 3/4 inch water supply line that will catch an entire house. Now, a 3/4 inch line is normally big enough to handle all of the water that your plumbing supply needs. Now, commercial, like I said, 10 or 12 inch on a sewer line I've seen, that's a pretty good size drain line. I've actually seen a 6 inch water line come into a building. Now, what kind of other things can be different beside the size? Your pressure coming in is the same. You may need a booster pump to pressurize the system higher up because you're gonna lose pressure the higher you go. So you may need a booster pump to make sure that you can get good water pressure at these higher floors. Now, another big difference is the size of the job. Look at a house. A normal house in the United States is probably a couple of thousand square feet. There's some that are bigger, there's some that are smaller, but let's say 2,000 to 2,500 square feet. You could have a commercial job that's 2 million square feet. I've actually done a community hospital that was 2 million square feet. So the size of the job can vary, but when you look at that's the average house, this is the average commercial job. And I know 2 million square feet is not average, but you've got to figure 50 to 100,000 square feet is no big deal. The size of your system is going to be bigger. The size of your project is going to be bigger. If you're in construction, you've got to look at how do you store your materials? How do you stage materials? What kind of gang boxes, tools like that do you need? If you're doing service, how long a camera reel do you need? How long of sewer machine snake do you need? What kind of different things are different?
What kind of different things are different?
Just based on the size of the job. And also some of these jobs, commercial job may be in downtown Dallas, residential job may be out in the middle of the neighborhood in the middle of the woods. Now, I'm not saying you couldn't build a commercial building out there, but that's the way it normally is. So you've got to think about things like parking, access, the time it'll take to get there and do the job based on where it is. Number 3, another thing you really need to know is knowledge. Understand that, like I talked about the booster pump a while ago, if you're pumping up to higher floors, you need to know things about this. Some of these things may require special licenses, but your knowledge of the entire plumbing system, how it all ties together, swag, sewer, water, and gas, and then like I said, something we'll talk about more about in a minute, some of the specialty systems, you've got to know about them too if you're doing commercial. Now, specialty systems, and I'm really glad that I got into the union when I did because I got to work on some of the biggest commercial jobs in Dallas. But the neat thing about it was getting moved up to a superintendent, I had pipe fitters, welders, plumbing, HVAC technicians, and electricians even, that all worked on our crews. So getting to deal with chilled water, heating water, med gas, different things like that, that was really good for me. It introduced me to a lot of other things. It helped me get my HVAC certification, but it let me learn that when you're on a big commercial job, there's a lot of things that go together to make it work. The specialty systems med gas here in Texas is considered part of the plumbing system. Natural gas is considered part of the plumbing system. So you have to have a plumbing license to do things like this and have the right endorsement. So the specialty systems are really neat. Having the knowledge to learn those things and understand that really can help set you apart from anybody else at your company or in the industry if you'll focus on getting really good at these things. Now, number 5, and this is a big one, is the services. Now, if you are doing residential, you can either do new construction or you can do residential service. Commercial, same way, new construction or service. So you've got to think about things. Do you know how the building is built? Do you know enough about it that you can come in and do service, look at a system, and give them a proper analysis on where the problem may be? Do me a favor right now. If you're in here and you're a plumber, let me know, do you do new construction or service? And do you do residential or commercial?
Residential or
I'm really curious as to kind of what the mix is. The reason being, service is something a lot of people never get into. And I always recommend people understand the entire plumbing system before you get into it and figure out what you would like to do best. That's what we created the free mini course for. It helps you understand, do you want to do residential or commercial? Do you want to do new construction or service? Do you want to be union or non-union? There's benefits and opportunities to both. There's also problems with both. But understand that on the services. If you don't like new construction, but you've been doing it for a while and you understand plumbing, it may be a good time to convert over to service and actually learn how to get in and make the repairs on those systems. Let me know what it is you do, residential or commercial, new service or construction, and if you're union or non-union. Just kind of curious as to what kind of mix we have in here. So guys, also leave me a comment down below and let me know if you have switched, what was your favorite? I hope you enjoyed this and I hope you got something out of it. Residential plumbing versus commercial plumbing. What's the difference? If I didn't mention anything that you can think of, leave me a comment down below and let me know. I'm Roger Wakefield, Lead AP, the expert plumber. I'll see you in the next video if you don't get flushed.